This is not a dramatic statement. It is a financial reality many people discover only after they arrive, settle in, and begin paying monthly bills. This conversation matters whether you already live in the United States, are planning to move here, or are shaping your long-term future in this country. The number we are about to discuss does not just affect your bank account. It affects how stressed you feel at the end of each month, whether you can save consistently, how one unexpected expense can disrupt your life. This is not about luxury living. This is about living with stability and dignity. Let's break the common myth. Most people approach this topic by asking the wrong question. They ask, "What salary do I need to live in the USA?" That question sounds logical, but it misses the real issue. In the United States, income does not determine your quality of life. Expenses do. Two individuals earning the same salary can experience completely different realities. One may feel calm and in control, the other may live with constant financial anxiety. The difference is not effort. The difference is how their fixed expenses are structured. Take a look at what stability really costs in 2026. To understand how much money you truly need, we must first define the goal. We are not discussing luxury. We are not discussing survival at the edge. We are discussing a basic but stable lifestyle for a single adult in the United States in 2026. Target monthly income, after taxes. Maintain stability. An individual should realistically aim for an after-tax monthly income between $5,500 and $700. This generally corresponds to an annual gross income of approximately $75,000 to $95,000, depending on location, tax structure, and employer benefits. This range creates room not just for bills, but for breathing space. Housing. It's called the foundation of financial life. Housing is almost always the largest and most powerful expense in an individual's budget. In 2026, a single person should realistically expect to spend between $800 and $2,800 per month for either a shared apartment or a modest one-bedroom unit. In major cities, rent often sits at the higher end of this range. In smaller cities, costs may be slightly lower but rarely inexpensive. Housing decisions quietly shape everything else. When rent is too high, every other expense becomes stressful. Utilities and internet. Here is the silent monthly commitment. Utilities and internet are unavoidable expenses that often receive little attention until bills arrive. For electricity, gas, and water, an individual should expect to pay approximately $120 to $250 per month, depending on usage and season. In addition, a reliable internet connection typically requires $60 to $100 per month. When combined, it is reasonable to allocate up to $300 to $350 per month for utilities and internet. These costs are not negotiable. They must be planned for consistently. Groceries and basic food. This is a growing expense these days. Food costs in the United States have changed dramatically in recent years. Even for individuals who cook most meals at home and limit dining out, grocery expenses remain significant. In 2026, a single adult should expect to spend between $500 and $800 per month on groceries and essential food items. This range reflects inflation and rising food prices. It does not represent excessive spending, only realistic consumption. Transportation. This is often underestimated by many. Transportation is a necessity for most people living in the United States. Whether through car ownership or public transit, monthly transportation costs usually include fuel or transit passes, insurance, maintenance, or repairs. Altogether, transportation typically costs between $400 and $900 per month. For many individuals, transportation is not optional. It is a fixed requirement for employment and daily life. Healthcare and insurance. This should be considered as a permanent cost. Healthcare in the United States should never be treated as a rare or emergency-only expense. In 2026, individuals typically spend between $300 and $700 per month on insurance premiums, copays, prescriptions, and routine medical care. Even with employer-sponsored insurance, out-of-pocket costs remain substantial. Failing to plan for healthcare often turns minor medical issues into serious financial disruptions. Phone and essential subscriptions, modern necessities. Staying connected is no longer optional. A basic phone plan combined with essential digital subscriptions generally costs between $100 and $150 per month. This estimate assumes practical usage, not luxury entertainment spending. There are some miscellaneous and unexpected expenses, and these should be counted as well as a reality buffer. Life always introduces expenses that cannot be predicted. These may include clothing minor repairs, personal needs small emergencies. To avoid financial stress, an individual should reasonably set aside $200 to $400 per month. Ignoring this category often leads to credit card dependence. Let's sum up total monthly living cost. Here is the reality summary. When all essential expenses are combined, a single adult in the United States should expect basic monthly living costs to fall between $4,500 and $6,000. This estimate represents stability, not luxury. It does not yet include aggressive saving, investing, or frequent travel. Let me share a real-life scenario: how the money actually disappears from your hands. Let's walk through a realistic example. Imagine an individual earning $6,200 per month after taxes. Their expenses might look like this: rent, $2,400, utilities and internet, $280 groceries, $650 transportation, $700 healthcare, $450 phone and subscriptions, $120. At this point, total expenses reach $4,600. That leaves $1,600 remaining. From that amount, emergency savings may require $500. Miscellaneous costs may take another $300. What remains is approximately $800. That $800 must absorb every unexpected event, medical issues, car repairs, family needs. One disruption, and that margin disappears. Here are the common mistakes to avoid in 2026. Many people struggle financially not because they earn too little, but because they repeat the same mistakes. The most common include renting based on approval instead of affordability, ignoring healthcare planning, using credit cards to sustain lifestyle, expecting future income growth to fix poor structure, underestimating the long-term impact of inflation. These mistakes quietly compound over time. Here is what actually works in the United States. Stability in America comes from structure, not optimism. What consistently works includes keeping housing costs below 30% of income, building 3 to 6 months of emergency savings, treating healthcare as a fixed monthly cost, planning finances monthly, not yearly, living one level below what income allows. These habits create control. Have a look at big picture insight on life and finance. In the United States, money does not automatically reward effort. It rewards planning. People who appear successful often feel financially trapped. People who plan quietly often experience peace. If this breakdown helped you understand the real cost of living in the United States, consider subscribing for clear conversations about life and money in the USA. This is Life and Finance in USA, where money meets real life.